1 Chronicles 26. Duties of the gatekeepers. These are the divisions of the gatekeepers. From the Korites there was Meshelemiah, son of Kor, of the family of Abisaph. The sons of Meshelemiah were Zechariah the oldest, Jediel the second, Zebediah the third, Jethaniel the fourth, Elam the fifth, Jehohanan the sixth, and Elihoni the seventh. The sons of Obed-Edom, also gatekeepers, were Shemaiah the oldest, Jezuabad the second, Joah the third, Sakar the fourth, Nathaniel the fifth, Amiel the sixth, Issachar the seventh, and Peluthai the eighth. God had richly blessed Obed-Edom. Obed-Edom's son Shemaiah had sons with great abilities who earned positions of great authority in the clan. Their names were Othni, Raphael, Obed, and Elzabad. Their relatives Elihu and Semachah were also very capable men. Of these descendants of Obed-Edom, including their sons and grandsons, 62 of them in all were very capable men, well qualified for their work. Meshelemiah's 18 sons and relatives were also very capable men. Hosah of the Merari clan appointed Shemiri as the leader among his sons, though he was not the oldest. His other sons included Hilkiah the second, Tebaliah the third, and Zechariah the fourth. Hosah's sons and relatives who served as gatekeepers numbered 13 in all. These divisions of the gatekeepers were named for their family leaders, and, like the other Levites, they served at the house of the Lord. They were assigned by families for guard duty at the various gates, without regard for age or training, for it was all decided by means of sacred lots. The responsibility for the east gate went to Meshelemiah and his group. The north gate was assigned to his son Zechariah, a man of unusual wisdom. The south gate went to Obed-Edom, and his sons were put in charge of the storehouse. Shuppim and Hosah were assigned to the west gate and the gateway leading up to the temple. Guard duties were divided evenly. 6 Levites were assigned each day to the east gate, 4 to the north gate, 4 to the south gate, and 2 pairs at the storehouse. 6 were assigned each day to the west gate, 4 to the gateway leading up to the temple, and 2 to the courtyard. These were the divisions of the gatekeepers from the clan of Korah and Merari. Treasurers and other officials. Other Levites, led by Ahaj, were in charge of the treasuries of the house of God and the treasuries of the gifts dedicated to the Lord. From the family of Libni, the clan of Gershon, Jethiel was the leader. The sons of Jethiel, Zetham and his brother Joel, were in charge of the treasuries of the house of the Lord. These are the leaders that descended from Amram, Issar, Hebron, and Uzziel. From the clan of Amram, Shebuel was a descendant of Gershom, son of Moses. He was the chief officer of the treasuries. His relatives through Eliezer were Rehabiah, Jeshiah, Joram, Zechri, and Shelomoth. Shelomoth and his relatives were in charge of the treasuries containing the gifts that King David, the family leaders, and the generals and captains and other officers of the army had dedicated to the Lord. These men had dedicated some of the plunder they had gained in battle to maintain the house of the Lord. Shelomoth and his relatives also cared for the gifts dedicated to the Lord by Samuel the seer, Saul son of Kish, Abner son of Ner, and Joab son of Zezerah. All the other dedicated gifts were in their care too. From the clan of Izhar came Kenahiah and his sons were given administrative responsibilities over Israel as officials and judges. From the clan of Hebron came Hashabiah and his relatives. 1,700 capable men were put in charge of the Israelite lands west of the Jordan River. They were responsible for all matters related to the things of the Lord and the service of the king in that area. Also from the clan of Hebron came Jeriah, who was the leader of the Hebronites according to the genealogical records. In the 40th year of David's reign, a search was made in the records, and capable men from the clan of Hebron were found at Jazer in the land of Gilead. There were 2,700 capable men among the relatives of Jeriah. King David sent them to the east side of the Jordan River and put them in charge of the tribes of Reuben and Gad and the half-tribe of Manasseh. They were responsible for all matters related to God and to the king. 1 Chronicles 27. Military commanders and divisions. This is the list of Israelite generals and captains and their officers who served the king by supervising the army divisions that were on duty each month of the year. Each division served for 1 month and had 24,000 troops. Jazobeam, son of Zabdel, was commander of the 1st Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the first month. He was a descendant of Perez and was in charge of all the army officers for the first month. Dodiah, a descendant of Aoa, was commander for the 2nd Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the second month. Mikloth was his chief officer. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was the priest. The priest was commander of the 3rd Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 3rd month. This was the Benaiah who commanded David's elite military group known as the 30. His son Ammizabad was his chief officer. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was commander of the 4th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 4th month. Asael was succeeded by his son Zebediah. Shammah the Ishrite was commander of the 5th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 5th month. Ira, son of Ikesh from Tekoa, was commander of the 6th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 6th month. Helez, a descendant of Ephraim from Pelon, was commander of the 7th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 7th month. Sebekai, a descendant of Zerah from Hushah, was commander of the 8th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 8th month. Ebezer from Anathoth in the territory of Benjamin was commander of the 9th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 9th month. Merari, a descendant of Zerah from Netophah, was commander of the 10th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 10th month. Benaiah from Pirathon in Ephraim was commander of the 11th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 11th month. Heled, a descendant of Othniel from Netophah, was commander of the 12th Division of 24,000 troops, which was on duty during the 12th month. The following were the tribes of Israel and their leaders. Rebuin, Eliezer, son of Zikri. Simeon, Shephati, son of Makkah. Levi, Hashaba, son of Kemuel. Aaron the priests, Zadok. Judah, Elihu, a brother of David. Izar, Issachar, Omer, son of Michael. Zebulun, Ishma, son of Obadiah. Naphtali, Jeremoth, son of Ezrael. Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Azazah. Manish, west, Joel, son of Pedar. Manish in Gilead, east, Iddo, son of Zechariah. Benjamin, Jazel, son of Abner. Dan, Ezrael, son of Jeroham. These were the leaders of the tribes of Israel. When David took his census, he did not count those who were younger than 20 years of age, because the Lord had promised to make the Israelites as numerous as the stars in heaven. Joab, son of Zeruiah, began the census but never finished it because the anger of God fell on Israel. The total number was never recorded in King David's official records. Officials of David's kingdom. Mavith, son of Adil, was in charge of the palace treasuries. Jonathan, son of Uzzah, was in charge of the regional treasuries throughout the towns, villages, and fortresses of Israel. Ezri, son of Caleb, was in charge of the field workers who farmed the king's lands. Shimi from Ramah was in charge of the king's vineyards. Zabdi from Shephon was responsible for the grapes and the supplies of wine. Balhanan from Geder was in charge of the king's olive groves and sycamore fig trees in the foothills of Judah. Joshua was responsible for the supplies of olive oil. Shitrai from Sharon was in charge of the cattle on the Sharon plain. Shaphat, son of Edlai, was responsible for the cattle in the valleys. Obil the Ishmaelite was in charge of the camels. Jediah from Meronoth was in charge of the donkeys. Jaziz the Hagrite was in charge of the king's flocks of sheep and goats. All of these officials were overseers of King David's properties. Jonathan, David's uncle, was a wise counselor to the king, a man of great insight and a scribe. Jehiel the Hakmonite was responsible for teaching the king's sons. Ahithophel was the royal advisor. Hushai the Archite was the king's friend. Ahithophel was succeeded by Jehoiada, son of Benaiah, and by Abithar. Joab was commander of the king's army.